A new power structure is taking shape, not in New York, not in Brussels, but on the snowy stage of Davos. President Donald Trump has formally launched his Board of Peace, pitching it as a global conflict-solving body unlike anything before. But as some nations rush in, America's closest allies are backing away. What was sold as a peace project is fast becoming a test of the world order itself. On the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos, President Donald Trump signed the charter of his long-promised Board of Peace. With a pen stroke and a brief ceremony, Trump declared the body an official international organization. The White House called it historic, critics called it destabilizing, and within minutes it was clear this was not just about Gaza anymore. Around 35 countries have signed on so far, among them Hungary, Belarus, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey, Indonesia, Vietnam, Pakistan, Egypt, and Israel. Some are longtime U.S. partners, others are strategic outliers. Belarus's inclusion is especially striking given its close alignment with Russia. The message is unmistakable. This board is pulling in states that operate outside traditional Western consensus. But while new partners step forward, America's traditional allies are stepping back. France, the UK, Norway, Sweden, Slovenia, and the Netherlands have declined to join. Germany remains undecided. Italy is wavering amid constitutional concerns. Their fear, the Board of Peace looks less like conflict resolution and more like a shadow United Nations operating without established checks. One detail has rattled European capitals more than any other: Russia's invitation. The possibility of Vladimir Putin sitting on a peace board alongside Ukraine's allies has triggered sharp resistance. British officials say they see no evidence Putin is serious about peace. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky openly questioned how Kiev and Moscow could sit at the same table. Then there's the price tag. Countries can rotate off the board after 3 years unless they pay $1 billion for permanent membership. Diplomats say the requirement turns peace into a transaction. For some European leaders, it's a political non-starter. For others, it confirms fears that influence, not consensus, is the real currency of this new body. The timing could not be worse. Trump's Greenland push has already strained transatlantic trust. Now, the Board of Peace deepens that divide. European leaders are openly coordinating responses to resist what they see as unilateral power building. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk summed it up bluntly: "We will not let anyone play us." Yet Trump shows no sign of retreat. Surrounded by loyalists and willing partners, he frames the board as proof that traditional diplomacy has failed. To supporters, it's decisive leadership. To critics, it's a bypass of international law. The United States is pushing a bold diplomatic experiment. President Donald Trump has formally launched what he calls the Board of Peace, a new body meant to oversee ceasefires and post-war planning, starting with Gaza. Framed as faster, tougher, and more effective than the United Nations, Trump claims the board will deliver results where existing institutions have failed. But within hours, Beijing made its position clear. China has declined Washington's invitation to join the Gaza Board of Peace. The message came not from Washington or New York, but from New Delhi via Yu Jing, spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in India. Her statement stressed that China supports true multilateralism, and that means solutions anchored firmly in the UN system. China's rejection is about more than Gaza. Beijing says global conflict resolution must operate within the UN Charter, international law, and UN-backed institutions. Trump's board, by contrast, is pitched as an alternative, even a rival, to the UN. At Davos, Trump openly criticized the United Nations, saying his board would do the work the UN should have done. Trump chose the World Economic Forum to give his initiative global visibility, but the timing backfired. The Gaza plan was overshadowed by Trump's Greenland threats, and then his dramatic retreat from them. By the time the Board of Peace was inaugurated, attention had shifted, and the guest list revealed deeper problems. Key U.S. allies stayed away. The United Kingdom and France declined to attend. Germany's leadership was notably absent. Despite Trump's claim that everyone wants to be part, skepticism dominated Europe. Those on stage told a different story. Hungary's Viktor Orban, Argentina's Javier Milei, leaders closely aligned with Trump's worldview, or eager to signal loyalty to Washington. The optics suggested not a global coalition, but a selective alliance. Trump insists the board will help maintain a ceasefire in Israel's war with Hamas and map Gaza's future. He credits recent U.S. actions with weakening Iran and claims momentum towards Middle East stability. Critics argue Gaza cannot be rebuilt through ad hoc diplomacy, and that sidelining the UN risks long-term instability.
But I said that, this is a great location. It all begins, I'm a real estate person at heart, and it's all about location. And I said, look at this location on the sea. Look at this beautiful piece of property, what it could be for so many people. It'll be so great. People that are living so poorly are going to be living so well. But it all began with a location. That's the vision. They look out on the waters, and very few places are like it. So we put together a team that's outstanding, a team that's done it before, a team that I think has done tougher jobs, if you want to know the truth. And we have many others that have signed up, and they all want to be members of the Board of Peace because it really will be important. This is not going to be a waste of time. We waste so much time on things that never happen. This will happen, and it's already happening. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you. And, of course, the war in Gaza, which is really coming to an end. We have little fires that we'll put out, but they're little. They were giant, massive fires, and now they're down to little fires, so we can put them out very easily. We have 59 countries that are involved in peace in the Middle East. Many of them not in the Middle East. They're near the Middle East, but they're not in the Middle East. And many have said that if Hamas doesn't do what they promised they would do, and I think they probably will, but they were born with rifles in their hands. They were literally born. The first day they had a rifle put into their hands, but they have to give up their weapons. And if they don't do that, it's going to be the end of them. But many countries have told me, we want to go in and do it. And they really aren't countries that you traditionally think of as being involved in that. But that's the fire. Hezbollah in Lebanon, we have to do something about that. But these are, I call them remnants. They're small remnants compared to what it was before. It was massive, large, powerful countries fighting each other. We captured the outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro, and the people of Venezuela are very happy about it. And we're having great relationships with the new leaders of Venezuela. The relationships have been good. We're opening up the country to our giant oil companies, and it's going very well. We've already taken out, think of this, 50 million barrels of oil, and a lot of that's going to go back to Venezuela. They'll do more income with us in a short period of time than they did in years. I used to speak to Vladimir Putin about Ukraine, and it was the apple of his eye, but he would never have ever done it. I said, you can't do that, Vladimir. As part of this historic record of major peace initiatives, today we're announcing more details regarding the Board of Peace, so important. This board has the chance to be one of the most consequential bodies ever created, and it's my enormous honor to serve as its chairman. I was very honored when they asked me to do it. We're going to be very successful in Gaza. It's going to be a great thing to watch. and we can do other things. We can do numerous other things. Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations. You know, I've always said the United Nations has got tremendous potential, has not used it, but there's tremendous potential in the United Nations, and you have some great people at the United Nations, but so far it hasn't. You know, on the 8 wars that I ended, I never spoke to the United Nations about any of them. And you would think that I should have. You would think they could have done those 8 wars, but they couldn't have. And they tried, I guess, in some of them, but they didn't try hard enough. But there's tremendous potential with the United Nations. And I think the combination of the Board of Peace with the kind of people we have here, coupled with the United Nations, can be, you know, something very, very unique for the world. Together we are in a position to have an incredible chance. I don't even call it a chance. I think it's going to happen. To end decades of suffering, stop generations of hatred and bloodshed, and forge a beautiful, everlasting, and glorious peace for that region and for the whole region of the world, because I'm calling the world a region. The world is a region. We're going to have peace in the world. And boy, would that be a great legacy for all of us. Everybody in this room is a star, or you wouldn't be here.